There's been many Water colorways from Nike over the past years, like the SB Dunk Water, the Dunk High Waters, the LeBron 10 Waters, but probably my favorite ever, and maybe it's my Kobe Bryant bias kicking in, probably this, because this is delicious. Nike Kobe 8 Protro Water. Now, the shoe is dropping on April 13th for $180. It is the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's final game, the game where he dropped 60 big fat points on the Utah Jazz. And this colorway, of course, it is not new. It is the return of a colorway that originally came out on December 2013. And first impressions of this shoe. Like I said at the intro of my video, this might be my favorite Water shoe ever. It really might be. It is a combination of over or close to 30 different Kobe 8 colorways throughout history. No new like Protro colorways. Remember, this was an original Water colorway, so the Protro colorways hadn't come out yet. I think the first Protro came out in 2023 with the halos. So over 30 Kobe 8 colorways. I'm not going to go through every single one that it's inspired by. I did that for the Nike Dunk Clot Water and just took forever. But yeah, very out there, very bold, not very like wearable in different types of settings. But I've always maintained if you're playing ball in a sneaker, the wearability isn't as important. You just go crazy on court, wear whatever colors you want. Now the Kobe 8 overall, like in terms of the shape, I think the Kobe 4s are better looking, just shape-wise, not performance. The Kobe 1s I really love is 2K4s and 5s, even though that wasn't officially a Kobe shoe. But he was the face of them. Love those shoes. But this Water colorway is, what the f? How is this so beautiful, and how the f do I have these in my hand right now? And the materials on the shoe, it is engineered mesh. Now this version of engineered mesh is slightly updated from the original version of the Kobe 8. And the Kobe 8 was actually the first shoe to use engineered mesh on a sneaker. So compared to like regular mesh, it was more lightweight, was more reliable, more durable, and more flexible as well. So a bunch of benefits there. And on the right shoe, on the swoosh here, that's actually glow in the dark. So you see a bunch of patterns there. That is a pretty cool but subtle feature. On the Halo version, as well as the team colorways, that actually came like embroidered. And then staying on the right shoe, on the medial side of the shoe, on the ankle lining here, that is like synthetic leather. And of course, very, very bold colors mismatching on the left and right shoe. On the left shoe, you get this bluish type of base, bluish purple. And on the swoosh here, that has this mamba type of snake scale texture to it. But then on the medial side of the shoe, you see this huge Nike logo. And if you're wondering where that Nike comes from, behind the tongue, it actually tells you the Mamba Curial. That was the Kobe 8, that was like a tribute to soccer sneakers. Obviously, Kobe shoes in general, he was inspired by soccer shoes. That's why he started going with a low cut. He was wondering why soccer players never rolled their ankles, even though they went with low cut sneakers. So Kobe 4 was born, and the rest is history. He wasn't the first one, but he was definitely the first player, or probably the main player to like really popularize low cut basketball shoes. And that material is actually 3M. So again, pretty cool reflective look there. Personally, that's probably my nitpick with this shoe overall. I just don't love how that huge Nike logo kind of looks. And then behind the tongue on the right shoe, no like code there or no wording there. And then moving up the tongue, a lot of people complained originally when the Kobe 8s first dropped, is that very thin tongue could like really dig into your ankles if you don't wear like thick or high enough socks. The tongue here, it is still pretty thin, but it does have like a fabric texture over it. Again, the halos as well as the team colorways, that had like a thicker, more padded tongue, which was a good modification, but they didn't do that for the shoe. Not sure why. It is a Protro, so they had a chance to like improve that one feature that a lot of people didn't like, but yeah. And then on the tongue, of course, on the left shoe, you get this Mamba sheath logo that is meant to represent a sword on a sheath. And that logo, if you didn't know, was inspired by Kill Bill. The main character's assassin name was Black Mamba. That was when Kobe Bryant was actually inspired. On the right shoe, you get the sheath logo as well, but there's like a snake wrapped around it. And then in the middle of the tongue, you see it's mismatched as well. On the left shoe, it is KB24. On the right shoe, it is Kobe. Now this shoe obviously comes with mismatched laces, but it also comes with 2 extra set of laces So plenty of options, and out of the 4, I don't really care which one. So what the shoe, so as crazy as it can be, that's probably a bonus. Personally though, I do like this orange and blue color, New York Knicks colors, so yeah, I'm a fan of that one. And you'll see on the eye stays, this thin strip of TPU that is added support there. Now moving on to the booty of the shoe. Mismatched, so one doesn't have like any logo, no Mamba logo. The bright shoe does have the Mamba logo. Kobe 8 socks were actually a thing, so when you wore the socks, it would complete that logo. And of course, both shoes comes with Kobe Bryant's signature on their TPU heel counter. And you'll see right below, and that kind of code that looks like Braille, that is not actually Braille, that is the Mamba code that originated on the Kobe 5s. And that actually says Chase Perfection. Now moving on to cushioning, the Kobe Protro does replace the Lunar foam with a React foam insert, and there are like scales on the insole itself. That's one thing I really don't like about the Kobe 8s, because when you wear socks and put your shoe in, the grip of the scales kind of like keep your socks like stuck. So as you're sliding your feet in, it's already a very tight shoe, but as you're sliding it in, your socks kind of like get stuck and it won't move, and it's just very annoying to put your feet in. I don't like that part. I get like the grip nature of it, but I do not like that design function. One thing they also did was add this lateral layer, and that was to prevent the insert from like ripping when you're doing like hard lateral movements. Now overall, this React insert, cushioning wise, one good thing about like a full length type of cushioning there is that it spreads the energy like throughout your feet, but I've never really been a huge fan of like inserts. I just feel like this feels a little too muted. It's not very responsive. There is no Zoom Air. There is no Nike Air. The originals never had it. When they Protro this, they didn't add it. So no Zoom Air anywhere on this shoe, just that insert. And yeah, for me right now, there are some great shoes in 2025, some great shoes that came out in 2024. This one just feels too muted. And in terms of the overall traction of the Kobe 8s, that is a big highlight on this shoe. It works very well. The B-roll for this was in a pretty averagely maintained gym. If a shoe doesn't offer like really good traction, you can definitely feel it. So it's majority herringbone, and there are like these snake scales on the lateral side of the shoe. And one minor change they've made to the Protro version is these scales actually point in a different direction. Very subtle. I think the originals work very well traction-wise anyway, and I really prioritize traction. If a shoe does not have superb traction, I can't wear it like to play ball in. I just cannot. And of course, like you would expect, different color outsoles. And another place where you see like some symbols, not the same type of Mamba code, but these 4 icons, that is meant to represent accuracy. And the shoe, of course, you see in the midfoot area, does come with a carbon fiber shank, and it is a glass-based carbon fiber shank. And remember, Kobe Bryant, again, I reiterate, he wanted everything to be super lightweight. So one good thing about a glass-based carbon fiber plate is that saves a tiny bit of weight compared to like non-glass carbon fiber plates. So yeah, that really helps with torsional rigidity. Don't really want your shoes to bend and be able to twist too easily. Can also help with kinetic energy return. So when you push off, you want like maximum energy return. So carbon fiber, love that in sneakers. And the box of the shoe, a black Mamba box, very fitting with scales all over. Get that beautiful black Mamba paper with his logo all over as well. Now in terms of sizing and fit, I am a wide and flat footer. For us wide footers, just cry. There's just no great solution for a Kobe 8. It is a very narrow silhouette. I think most Kobe's are pretty narrow as a wide and flat footer, but these are tight. These are super tight. Now, one thing that is difficult for us is that if you go up half a size, you might experience a little bit of heel slippage, even though there's some pretty good padding here. You can use the top eyelets, but might be a bit too much room in the toe area, which lengthwise, it doesn't give you the best fit, especially if you're playing ball in these. But going true to size with no arches on your feet and wide feet, it just takes a long time to really break this shoe in. And honestly, for the first 45 minutes, this area of my feet, as well as on the lateral side here, it was starting to like cramp up. That's how tight this shoe is. It's, yeah, just a very long break-in time. And eventually it kind of loosened up and I felt a bit better. The pain went away, but width-wise, it is tough. So I don't really have like a definite recommendation. I personally, if I had to choose, I'd go up half a size. Now Kobe must have had like the most narrow feet, because I don't know how he fit in these. Like, man, I was tempted to search and Google like Kobe Bryant's feet, but I didn't want that in my conscience. Apart from that though, the engineered mesh worked pretty well in terms of containing my feet in the shoe. It feels strong enough and durable enough where I didn't feel like my ankle was going to roll over or if it was going to bust out the shoe. The TPU heel counter definitely did its job support-wise in that area of the shoe. And you also see the outrigger of the shoe, it is not like insanely aggressive, but that also helps with lateral stability. And overall feel of the shoe, you do sit relatively close to the ground, so you get that good low profile feeling that a lot of basketball players do prefer. And overall weight of the shoe, I believe at the time, if my memory serves me correctly, it was the lightest Kobe sneaker ever. Other basketball shoes have surpassed this in terms of lack of weight. The technology has improved since then, but overall, still a very lightweight shoe. Weight should not be a problem for you if you're playing in these, and if they are, it might be time for another sport. And overall comfort-wise, if you're just wearing it for like casual use, I think the insert, the React insert, is pretty comfortable under feet, feels plush enough, bouncy enough. If you're not playing ball in them, you don't really care about the lack of responsiveness, and if you can get the sizing correct, yeah, I think this would be a pretty comfortable shoe to walk around in. In 2025, even though this is a performance retro, a Protro of the original Kobe 8s, I still feel like it doesn't really hold up performance-wise to some shoes that came out more recently, like the Sabrina 2s. That is my gold standard for basketball shoes. I would pick that over this. I think overall this lack of zoom air and responsiveness in the cushioning of the shoe is a huge drawback. The traction is great. The engineered mesh is very lightweight, offers enough stability and support. Yeah, if you really want like a more responsive type of basketball sneaker, for me anyway, my preference is just a bit lacking. But the beauty of this shoe and what makes it special is the colorway. Performance aside, even though it's not my favorite, it's a real good case that this could be my favorite what the shoe ever. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what you think of the Nike Kobe 8 Protro What the? Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, the way of shoes.